Hey there, third graders. This is Mrs. Fisher. Today we are going to be working in lesson 1 of Unit 4, which is our Government and Civics unit. Lesson 1 is titled Government and is found on page 140. So please go ahead and turn there. You're going to need your pencil and a highlighter, so go ahead and grab that and let's get started. The first section of our lesson is called Rules and Laws. Have you ever been in a classroom discussion where everyone was talking at once? Maybe you had something you wanted to say, but nobody was listening. Or maybe you couldn't hear because of all the noise. It's hard to pay attention when we all talk at once. It's a lot easier to discuss things when people take turns speaking. Classroom rules help us have better discussions. They also help us get along in other ways at school. If you look at this text box here, it says, what is one rule that would change how students are acting in this picture? If you look at the photograph, these boys are talking when the teacher's trying to talk. What is a rule that could change how the students are acting? Go ahead and fill in that text box there. Communities have rules too. These rules are called laws. Go ahead and highlight that. We don't just have rules in school, but we also have rules in our community, and those are called laws. Laws come from our government. A government is all the people who run a community, state, or country. Go ahead and highlight that as well. Governments make laws to keep communities safe, healthy, and organized. Go ahead and highlight the reasons why we have laws to keep communities safe, healthy, and organized. What rules do you follow to stay organized at school? Let's look at some of these text boxes and nonfiction text features here. This text box here says, the people pictured on this page are following laws. Write why each law is needed below each picture. So look at this photograph here. The girl is putting on her seatbelt. Why do we have a law about wearing seatbelts in our cars? Why is that law needed? Look at this photograph here of the car stopping at the stop sign. Why do we have that law? Why do cars and vehicles need to stop at stop signs? And then look at this photograph here. The child is throwing trash into the trash can. Why is that law needed? So fill in those captions there, and then when you're done with that, go to the bottom section where it says draw a picture of you following a law. So what is something in your community, a law that you follow? You follow them every day. Sometimes you might not even think about the laws you follow. So go ahead and pause the video and take some time to draw a picture of a law that you follow. And now we're going to move on to safety and services. You know that cars must stop at red lights and may only drive ahead on green lights. That's a law the government created. What would happen if drivers did not obey this important law? People might have accidents and get hurt. Traffic signs show laws too. A driver must stop his or her car at a red stop sign. A yellow stop sign with a person in a crosswalk shows drivers that people may be crossing the road ahead. Our government creates these signs and laws to help protect people. Please highlight that, that's important. These laws promote safety and organization. Highlight that also. Our government doesn't just promote safety and organization by creating laws. It also provides different services. Highlight that word, services. Police officers keep streets, highways, and neighborhoods safe. Firefighters protect us and our property from fire damage. City workers clean our streets and collect garbage, which helps to keep us healthy. Just imagine what our lives would be like if trash piled up in the streets. Go ahead and highlight those services. Police officers keep streets, highways, and neighborhoods safe. Firefighters protect us and our property. City workers clean our streets and collect garbage. Some government services help people do work or improve their lives. The United States Postal Service delivers our mail all over the world. Public libraries across our country provide access to information. They are paid for our government. They are paid for by our government. Public schools are provided by the government too, to make sure everyone gets an education. Go ahead and highlight those services as well. The United States Postal Service, they deliver our mail, public libraries, and public schools. Okay, now let's look at some of these other text boxes and text features. Here we have a fact box, traffic light facts. Driving through a red light can cost a driver over $300. How long a yellow light stays lit depends on the speed limit. Green doesn't mean go, it means cross with caution. So I want you to think about some of the signs that you see, the street signs that you see in your neighborhood. And just like traffic lights, street signs help us stay safe. So I think about the signs I see at a railroad crossing, and I think about signs I see before a school. So think about those signs, and you're going to design your own street sign. And it says here, think about how your street sign would keep people safe and organized. Share your ideas with a partner. You could also share your ideas with a family member. So go ahead and pause the video, draw your own street sign, and think about how it would help people stay safe and organized. And then over in this section here, when you're finished with that, it says write the service that is being provided on the line below each picture. So again, we read in this section all the different services that our government provides. And here we see some photographs. Look at the photograph and write down the service that is being provided. You can look back in your text to help you if you need to refresh your memory about what some of those services are. And then if you look down at the bottom here, we're going to look at the meaning of the word promote. It says promote is a word that means to support or put forward. What is one rule you could promote in your school? So think about a rule that you think is important and that you would support or encourage other people to follow. And I want you to make sure you restate the question in your answer. One rule I can promote is, and then go ahead and finish that sentence. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Now we're going to move on to people power. It might seem like our government makes all the laws and people don't have any say, but that isn't true. In our country, the government gains its power from the people. How does this work? Well, first, let's highlight that. In our country, the government gains its power from the people. When the founders of the United States were creating a new government, they decided the government should be run by the people. The government they created is a representative democracy. In a representative democracy, the people vote for a group of leaders. These leaders represent the people. They establish the rules and laws for everyone to follow. Let's highlight that definition of representative democracy. In a representative democracy, the people vote for a group of leaders. These leaders represent the people. All right, the next section is get out and vote. And we just experienced this as a country with our general election last week. It says, now we know that government leaders are elected by the people, but how do they keep their jobs as leaders? If people think their leaders are doing a good job, they vote for them again. If people think their leaders are doing a bad job, they vote for someone else. One day, you will be able to vote. The people you vote for will make laws that affect you. And down here we see a photograph and the caption says, today, almost every legal resident of the United States who is 18 or older can vote. So I want you to take a few minutes to fill out these two questions. So it says, what would our government be like if the people didn't elect their leaders? Think about what our government would be like if we didn't get to choose our leaders, if someone else chose them for us, if we didn't have a say in who was going to run our country. What would that be like? And then down here is the essential question. Now that we've read all about our government, I want you to answer this question. Why is government important? And please make sure you look back in your text and answer this question using details from what we just read in our text. Okay, and please make sure that you restate the question. Government is important because, and then finish that sentence using those details that we just read about in the last several pages. Go ahead and look back in the text for your answers. And then you're going to submit a picture of this answer to this essential question so that we can see your work, okay? All right, see you later.